senator from Utah.
Madam President, I want to express my strong support for the nomination of Carolyn B. McHugh to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit. Judge McHugh received her undergraduate and law degrees from the University of Utah. She is exactly the kind of outstanding nominee of varied legal experience that I set out to find to fill this vacancy. She has both practiced and taught law. She has practiced in both state and federal court. She has extensive experience both before and behind the bench. She has served the county and state bars as well as the state judiciary on committees and on commissions. And she has been widely recognized and awarded for her distinguished legal career. And somehow along the way, Judge McHugh has found time to serve her community with groups such as Big Brothers Big Sisters, Voices for Utah Children, and Catholic Community Services of Utah. Judge McHugh's 22 years of litigation experience were almost evenly split between state and federal court. In nearly a decade on the Utah Court of Appeals, currently as the presiding judge, she has heard more than 1,100 appellate, civil, and criminal cases that ultimately reached judgment. When she is confirmed to the 10th Circuit, I think Judge McHugh may have one of the shortest learning curves on record of any judge in any Circuit Court of Appeals of this country. When we have a judicial vacancy in Utah, I spend a lot of time talking to lawyers and judges throughout our state's legal community. And so does Senator Lee. We both work together on these nominations, and I appreciate the input that he has, and what a great deal of legal experience and understanding he brings to these matters. Judge McHugh received praise for many things, but perhaps the most common description was simply that she works harder than anyone else. Her former law partners said it, judges said it, over and over the same thing came up. She works incredibly hard. Madam President, I've been doing this a long time and have participated in the nomination and/or confirmation of more than half of the judges who have ever served on the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. I know a first-rate nominee when I see one. Judge McHugh's varied experience, her personal character and intelligence, and her work ethic make her one of the very best. The Judiciary Committee approved her nomination without opposition, and I expect the same result in the Senate. I do have to say, Madam President, that this nomination could have been confirmed months ago. Despite some controversy over a few nominees, the confirmation process was working well. In his first 5 years, President Obama appointed 24.6% of the federal judiciary, compared to 25.8% in President George W. Bush's first 5 years. The Congressional Research Service says that the Senate confirmed a higher percentage of President Obama's appeals court nominees than it did for President Clinton, and did so faster than it did for President Bush. In President Bush's first 5 years, Democrats conducted 20 filibusters of appeals court nominations, compared to only 7 in President Obama's first 5 years. Filibusters were much less of a factor in the confirmation process under President Obama than they had been in the past. But that was not good enough. So last November, Democrats abolished nomination filibusters altogether. For more than 200 years, the minority in the Senate, no matter what their political party, had a real role in the confirmation process. The possibility of a filibuster had two effects. First, it suggested to the president that he might want to send more moderate nominations to the Senate. Second, it prompted the minority to cooperate with the majority in confirming non-controversial nominations. The new confirmation process that Democrats created has no real role for the minority. As a result, neither of those positive effects exists anymore. The president has no incentive to choose more moderate nominees, to consult with home state senators, or to look for consensus. And the minority here in the Senate has no incentive to waive rules or to agree to shortcuts. There used to be balance in this process. The minority could filibuster a few of the more extreme nominees, and so the minority helped process the large majority of non-controversial nominees. That balanced approach was apparently unacceptable to the current majority. Democrats took that approach away, leaving a process, if it can be called that, that only the majority controls. Democrats did not want the minority's cooperation. They did not want a process that has some give and take in it. Democrats wanted a process that is all take and no give. And so here we are. Part of the process we used to have would have been confirming additional nominations before adjourning the first session of a Congress. The nomination before us would have been confirmed that way months ago, as well as a whole raft of other judges that we're now voting on ad seriatim. Instead, we are forced to do things in this new way. Judge McHugh is the same highly qualified, non-controversial nominee. There is no good reason why the majority will want to take months longer to confirm a nomination like this. But this is the confirmation process that the Democrats created. They got the control they wanted. And I believe that this distortion of the process harms the Senate as an institution. By creating unnecessary controversy and delay, this new process also harms the other branches to which nominations have been made. It did not have to be this way. It should not have been this way. I might add that I wrote a law review article a number of years ago that I did not believe we should filibuster judicial nominations at all. That's why I voted present on so many of the president's judges. But there's no reason for me to do that anymore because the Democrats have changed the rules. They've broken the rules to change the rules. And so I might as well vote no along with the rest of the Republicans on some of these nominees, just as an expression that we don't like the way the Democrats are handling this matter. So I've been, just in the last few days, changing from present to no or yes, depending upon the person.